Okay, so, hello guys, it's me, Gaming Star here, and today I am back with another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time, we had basically started off Rise from the Ashes, Day 1. And this time, we're going to go ahead and start Day 2, Trial of Former. So, we're going to start the trial in this episode, and we might even do the investigation. Who knows? So, let's see. Depending on how long this takes. Alright, let's check. February 23rd. Let's go. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? The defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to be trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without Faye helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. And there goes Mario! Mario! Hey! He's talking. Baby boy! Of course, now searching for trial, Miss Lana Scott. Fuck! The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. We haven't had him in a while, prosecutor. It's been a while. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in courtroom since his trial. It's 2 weeks for me. Alright. I hope that personal feelings will not be part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office spot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness of her life. There is a witness to the crime. Or a professional witness. What did you say? Well, then call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls his first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered a caviar lunch, right? Oh ho, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor. How does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts! I always thought caviar would taste like pickled topika. Tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name! Profession! Now. Me? The name of Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up! Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call the police to provide the description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth said to the court, I am a professional. Uh-huh. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was first rate homicide detective. You see why I saw how she's a detective? Because she actually was. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Yeah, that's literally what I said in the last episode, bro. Aha! I know who you are. Cough up! Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Who is this lady? If I might, I have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is the prosecutor's office personnel, and B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep the visitors from taking up the prosecutor's spaces, yes? The crime took place by the car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made to the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Marking for a glance. Wait, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers will unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are you talking about me? Alright. Let's hear the testimony, boys. Haven't done one in ages. Let's hear it. Anywho. Somehow I always knew the day would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my family's home detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed at Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Oh, that reference, though. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. It's just a flesh wound, Your Honor. I have scratches from my dogs because they wouldn't stop scratching, Mario. Alright. Hold it, baby. Hold it, baby girl. How did you know? Oh, fuck. Wrong button. I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's unformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they're used to erasing unconfident evidence from the whim. Killing off detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against the prosecutors? I felt that I found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't laid off those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. Hold it, bitch! This boyfriend, he's a detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend, do you have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? And yet another boyfriend position still open for applicants. No! I'll stick with the lunches, thanks! Let's all the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is this lot aim block. It's the second level, so you see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Or just, exit sign. Incidentally, you did bring your lunchboxes by the car. Since I'm a visitor now, I'm parked in B block. So she is in B block where she witnessed the crime. Hold it, bitchy. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed is also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. It tells me the truth, we're doomed. We can't proof, we can always nitpick. Nitpicking! My thing! Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are biased witness! You baby! You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? A rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring! I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I'm relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph! You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged to the camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around with your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'll show it to you, prosecutor? Think again. Oh, fuck. Why I keep pressing the R button? Damn it. Oh, fuck. My boyfriend works in the photography division of the criminal affairs. Which boyfriend? Well, this is most certainly the defendant. A moment of crime photographed by Angel Starr. That is unmistakably Lana Sky. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Fuck! The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Alright, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Objection! I have to say, I'm so excited to say that again. And you witnessed this? You saw him disguise not the victim with the knife? I've already said yes. I swear, it's my finest psalm in Swirl Lunch. I'm sure that is fine, Lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. It's this photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is this guy not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Mr. Edgeworth. Objection. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken at the moment before the stabbing. This was taken after the stabbing. Objection! And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains in the chief prosecutor's coat. It's literally in black and white. The picture is in black and white. I cannot. What is this? Like the 1950s? What is it? 1960s? Like the photo's in black and white. I can't even see the blood. The other thing I can see, there's blood, but the other thing I can see is just like dark stains. It could be anything. It could be my freaking Kool-Aid for all I care. It could be my fucking Kool-Aid. For all I know, it could be my goddamn cyanide laced Kool-Aid. For all I know. God damn, dude. It could be anything. It could be my juice. It could be me Kool-Aid. My suicide Kool-Aid. Me wanting to commit suicide, my fucking Kool-Aid for all I care. Holy shit. But it's black and white photograph. That's what I said! That's what I said! That's literally what I just said, bro. I just said that. It's literally in black and white. How are you supposed to see red? You can't. It's just... What is this? Like, did you take an old-ass camera? Ah, yes, it's hard to tell that it could be blood. Hell, it could be, like I said before, it could be my fucking Kool-Aid. It could be Kool-Aid. For all I know, it could be paint. For all I know, it could be red-ass paint, for all I know. Who cares what it could be? Oh, Mr. Wright, see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to sit here and take this kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Objection, baby! Wait, the contradicts of what was said to your testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, your order's seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I don't understand it either. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How did you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgically gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves! What? I miss doing this. These gloves do seem to telltale premeditation. Premeditation murder. A serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. It was planned. Rubber gloves prove it. Edgeworth's knife. Objection, baby! Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell book launches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We asked that why is there a kid there? Provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Sky planned the murder. And that why she was wearing the special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why was she not also prepared the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. The knife just happened to be there at the trunk of the car. It was coincidence. It was a fucking coincidence. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Ugh. Yeah, you don't forget it, obviously. Order in the courtroom, boys. Great, now the tide's turning in my favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's good as free. Right? I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shuts a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it were premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is the lunch lady over there. The defendant's honest guy murdered the detective with a knife. And that's the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing? I believe I'd like to hear her testimony again. Witness, Fate, please tell us the one you saw, not that you fought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Angel's deduction. Let's go. Well, this guy intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I were to pick, so does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? And then you consider this me now cross-examine the witness. Damn, that's the weirdest thing ever. Okay, that's weird. Alright. Okay. Let's go to the fourth and final statement. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cuatrito, cuatro. Baby. Alright. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid that moss is growing under your feet as we wait, Miss Starr. Damn, that roast! What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this. But take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to loss of blood from one stab. Edgeworth, you're doing my job right now! Edgeworth, you are doing my job! I was supposed to do that. You're good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk, he's my hero, really. What about my injection? No one noticed? Well, witness. God damn! You got the crime scene set, right? Thanks. I like the ketchup. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying that you mistook something for blood. While she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. I splattered blood from the victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us why you thought that you saw blood. How can you mistake it? Her breath muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Objection! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited to detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself. With the photograph! Like... Edgeworth. Edgeworth, baby! Miles. You are doing my job! This is supposed to be what I do, boy! Huh? But that it can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. And yeah, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What is my injection child's liver? But I literally said... But it was there. I sounded like Toad for a minute, but that's something red usually. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us the entertaining interlude, but it's back to business. Edgeworth, do you want to be a fucking defense attorney? We can switch places if you like. I would switch. Hell, I'd switch with you. I don't care. What? Well, very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehend the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of the testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. this next testimony might be just a moment of truth. I literally straight up, Edgeworth just doing my fucking job. God damn, Edgeworth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the patron at her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned a muffler. That's what I had me confused in that earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made escape, but against Angel Starr, persisted is futile. You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? A strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of a snake. Don't bother with the details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Ray is weak against poisonous snake bites. Anyone is. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. What the fuck? Okay. Hold it. You said quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should get more details. Press her, baby. Let's do more. Press her. I like to see this floor plan. Just be safe. The lunch lady car was at the other side. She was a visitor, but she was parked in B block. So you went to Edgeworth from here. That would make about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing, the cough of Queen Lunch Lady athletes indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she could have gone my sister that fast. Yeah, the fence is about 9 feet high, too. How did this guy not get away? Wait, she mentioned the muffler? She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky! Anyway, all I heard was that the word muffler. Just the one word. So, what did you hear wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking to her on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? Whoa. My memory. It's like salmon heading upstream, you see. No, court doesn't decide to see Miss Starr. Chief prosecutor first attempted to use this phone hanging on the wall. Oh, that wall. That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order. Does she use her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing. Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add to this your testimony. The thing I do to please the rookie defense attorney. They tried her phone on the wall and have to use her cell phone instead. Hold it. Do you think you could Aha! See, that's the same thing. As only this one time, so listen close, rookie. Killer witness. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the Persian. Then she picked up the emergency phone at the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled out her cell phone out of her pocket. Whoa. And during the time, you climbed over the chain link fence? Then, when I bodily grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Chief prosecutor made it, but resistance is futile. So let's see here. Episode murder, escape. Objection! Miss Starr, I have concluded that you have personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is former detective. Her testimony is unarmed by personal bias. Well, who would have thought that she would be my knight to shining armor prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and you'll cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, is that true? You could have possibly seen this guy making a phone call. I believe you'll see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was the backside of this protrusion. If indeed you were at B block, you couldn't have seen it. Oh, baby. Order! What's the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies! That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me to question? Tells exactly what lie the witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about where she saw it. This guy tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. Was it significant about the fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for him to start to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But it was the witness that exactly seen this guy using the emergency phone. It would mean Mr. Witness a crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's pointless lie if I ever heard one. Oh, before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimonies you've heard until now points one direction. The place where we saw was the security room. The security room. This is the only place you could have been. The security guard room. Indeed, the security room, the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built the second floor. You can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? I have many places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in a block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. Remember in your testimony, you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could have turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Order, witness! What you have done, you used to be a detective, you should know better! I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And we'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty, is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That's the truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She would have risked it without a good reason. Huh. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed a crime from the security guard station. But she lied and she said she was in the B block. It must make a vital difference. But what? A change. The distance to the crime. I changed the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in the question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness. You. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing up the PB&J lunch with fresh Bonsu Jerry jam to my boyfriend. Bonsu Berry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass wall station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Damn, you really straight up ran all the way over there, and it jumped the fucking fence, and it just went like, oh, that's why I had to go through the visitors parking in the block. That's quite a detour. Yeah, it's so strange. What the fuck? It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. For 5 minutes? That could have taken longer. That's impossible. No, that would take it much longer. This changes things considerably. But there was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographs of evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention. It's useless. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do you have any evidence to stop this? Raise an objection. Objection! Bitch, let's go. 5 minutes between the witnessing and the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. 5 minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you're the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. This guy dwelled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. Got it, bitch. Well, it seems we've confident in this testimony. Witness has a grudge against the defendant and the blank in her testimony. Good to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated the witness in the account of her professional history. You did it. We screwed that kid shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the Cough of Queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist me on! I prefer not to take the defense's team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have the piece of evidence. What was that? Is this another one of our trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple decker! Out of a difference in the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Why does it sound so wrong? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking to the crime scene. And now, the matter of the victim's shoe. I did not bring this up. 2 types of blood were found at the shoe. 2 types? Oh, one was, of course, the victim's. And the other blood type matched the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless piece of evidence. It's not flawless, though. What? There was blood found on the shoe. Try lunch, land of all your lunch and piece of evidence needs. Huh. Witness, what's this meaning of this? Why, is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I had 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor. Damn, you're a whore. In any case, Your Honor, can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department. As of today, even the general public can produce the official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You could at least study some law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstand, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything can ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Victim's shoe. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine a witness. All right, let's see. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. I can't let evidence go too far. You ordered the pepper to give fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's enough in hot water to make a whole bath of soup. Mr. Wright, do you have the shoe a problem? It's critical. There is a problem with the shoe. There's a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes, you're still a young rookie. I'll give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear that Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with the evidence. Wonder if you noticed, there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. That would possibly contradict about the blood on the bottom of the shoe. The crime photo. Pretty obvious. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found at the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe! This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints! Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Oh, baby. Odd! Well, witness? What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprints is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There was a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright. Think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint of the truth in her testimony. Oh, what are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocks my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rar. Rar. An oil drum. Why was there an oil drum in the parking lot? Only cool-headed chief to do so. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness? Well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Ray? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean. Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason alone. To erase the blood stains of the world will become evidence against her. Ah! Oh, baby. The ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoes ties her quite clear to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's the prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me of Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. She didn't say she cut herself when she stabbed him? How'd she cut it, though? So that's when my sister got blood on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Starr is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant is Lana Sky. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Starr, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments will be held in contempt of court. Your frets don't scare the coffin queen. Look at this! A photograph. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in the photo. Hey, it's clearly wet! And there's the tie. The scarf thing, erasing the last trace of doubt in the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew you couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems that your sister won it anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up and off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare verdict for good. Objection! Bitch! Your Honor, wait! What is it with you people? Can I handle my verbs in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then, well, it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper contradiction. So, right? Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've got this far, we should give every claim fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court in the problem with the photograph. Huh. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Like... the muffler. Yeah, the muffler in the car. The problem is this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking at the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth, Your Honor. You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf in any kind of photograph. A muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe. I see, and I see. A suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler floor. So there's something sticking out of the muffler. What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I need water, though. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. The fact you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Bitch. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has in his mind. Tell us why you think it's related to the evidence. Lana's phone. We have a lot of evidence here. Miss Starr, record your testimony in the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what he kind of confessed in earlier testimony. Muffler. Ah! Yeah! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh! Oh! Alright. That's day 2. And this is a very long case. Well, since we'll have to suspend the proceedings. Suspended? I think I put myself wondering about the piece of cloth. Leaving the question unanswered here to the decision of law. I have the car at the crime scene, inspect it at once, and bring me the cloth. Wright will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Phew, that was close. But we made it at least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? Like 2 caviars. What the fuck? Alright, so anyway, hope you guys enjoy this episode. Because it's already getting pretty long, so please like, comment, subscribe. And next time, we're going to go ahead and do some investigations. Day 2 investigation. And, yeah. And, see you guys then. We're going to go ahead and do more trials, and then maybe possibly investigation. So see you guys then.